Good day, my plant foldies. This is Richie at Grow Folds, and today we'll be at PlantCon 2025 in Orlando, Florida. This is day one, part two of my series. As always, please make sure you are pressing the thumbs up or like button for this video. You already know it definitely helps push this content out to more plant lovers like yourself, as well as following me on Instagram at Grow Folds. That is the fastest and most direct way to get in touch with me if you have any questions about the plants or if you want to interact with me. But before we get into that, I did want to go ahead and invite everybody to go to the Cultivation Corner YouTube channel. It is a plant podcast that hosts Janae, Simone, Steven, and myself have for everybody to join. And we have new episodes every Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. We have season 2 underway. We are actually on episode 2 tonight, so definitely check it out at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. It is a fun plant podcast show that we started, and we hope that you guys will share the love and the support for our plant podcast, the Cultivation Corner. We've been working really hard about it, and we do also have some merch.
Hey, y'all see the shirts that we're rocking? I mean, isn't this fly? This is fly. See, this could be in your closet. You know what I'm saying? We are selling these limited edition Cultivation Corner sweatshirts right now.
Season 2?
That's right.
Season 2.
Season 2. Listen, if you want one, you better get up on it because, like I said, they're limited. So
send us a DM in the Cultivation Corner Instagram so we can go ahead and get that custom sizing.
That's right.
You could be like us.
That's right. You don't want FOMO on this one, you guys. You need this is what couture.
Cultivation Couture.
Cultivation Couture.
And past some of the commercials for this YouTube video today, we are back at Art Garden Flowers. This is an Indonesian nursery that is run by my friend Ricky, and the majority of my plant haul for 2025 PlantCon is actually coming from Ricky. Here's the thing about this amazing international vendor. For those that have never made it to a PlantCon, if you ever want to find some inexpensive, high quality plants, this is what you want to go to. This is the vendor you want to go to is Art Garden Flowers. Please make sure that you are following him on Instagram. They have a broker in the United States that is able to get these plants. And if you are a huge fan of Anthuriums, you can see that they've got a huge selection of Anthuriums, not only just the velvety textured ones, but he also has a lot of the variegated ones. And I did want to say thank you to everybody who tuned in to PlantCon 2025 Orlando, Florida, day 1, part 1 live premiere. I could not believe we had over 120 people watching the live premiere chat. So if you are catching this video during a live premiere, please say hello in the chat session. And for those that actually gave me a monetary tip or what you call a super sticker, thank you so much. For those that are new to the channel, I call my viewers and subscribers plant foldies. My name is Richie. I do daily 1-hour plant shopping videos. I am based out in North Dallas, so traveling to Orlando was a little bit pricey, so I do appreciate all of the monetary tips that you guys gave me during the live premiere chats. You can still do that if you want to support me in that way. Obviously, do not feel obligated to do so. Now, I did want to show you some more of the other vendors on day 1. You can see this is Plantasy Garden, and Plantasy Garden is another Houston-based plant nursery. It is a family business that I have seen multiple times at many plant shows in the Houston market. And you can see right here, they've got some unique plants as well that are propagated in-house. This one is a Philodendron Emerald Night, and this actually looks really cool. Love the variegation on it. It almost reminds me of like an Epipremnum panatum for some sort of reason, but it looks like it's another philodendron that definitely needs to climb, and you can see that it is priced well. I do love Plantasy Garden plants. What they really specialize is the variegated alocasias, and so they have a huge selection. And like I've said in multiple videos, the reason why I'm doing longer format content for PlantCons is because I want to make everybody aware of all the wonderful vendors that work really hard to grow these plants for all of us to appreciate, buy, and add into our collections. So for any of the vendors that you see during my PlantCon videos, please support them by following their socials, whether it's Instagram or Facebook. And if you'd like to leave a kind comment complimenting their plants in the comments section, do that as well. I am all about having a positive community on the Growfolds channel. I love one of the vendors' signs that said good vibes only, and that was 365 Hydroponics. It's another Florida-based nursery, and that really resonated well with me. It is all about that kindness and having good vibes. So when you look at all of the plants by Plantasy Garden, you can see that is a variegated Alocasia Black Albo. I love that as well. And you can see they've got an assortment of different types of Anthuriums. I'm just gonna walk around here and keep picking up some plants and showing you what they have at this beautiful plant shop right here. Who doesn't love blooming Anthuriums for $25? An easy to care for plant. That is another plant that is often overlooked. It's an easy to care for plant that I would recommend. And at PlantCon around noon, it was just lively. It was lit. It was a huge party because guess what? We had Roo Elliott in the house. Now, I can't play his music on the YouTube channel just because of copyright reasons, but what I will tell you about his performance is it was a lot of fun. I was dancing around, I was going crazy, I was singing to his lyrics, and I have to really commend Roo for just really uplifting everybody, and just the themes of his music just really resonates well with the plant community. I mean, for some of us plant geeks, as most of us will call ourselves, it's just really fun to see that we can jam to hip hop music like this that is all about plants. Just me and my plants was really good, and just the energy around it. It was definitely good vibes only at this PlantCon. And like I've said in all of the previous videos that I've featured for PlantCon, so if you guys like this type of content where you're seeing PlantCon videos, I do have a playlist that actually covers the Houston PlantCon as well as the Dallas PlantCon, and you'll see that there will be more videos from the PlantCon 2025 in Orlando. You can see it was just one huge party, and I'm just gonna show you clips of his performance. Again, Plant Foldies, I do apologize that I don't actually have the lyrics for his video, but if you are a Roo Elliott fan, make sure you are #1 following his Instagram. Also listening to his music. You can find it on Apple Music. He's got a bunch of huge hits. You can just play his music as I show you his performance if you need that Roo Elliott background music. All I'm gonna say is this: I was definitely dancing my butt off because it was just fun. And you know what? Dancing with some of the plant foldies that I met in person, I'm pretty sure somebody has gotten me on video for a face reveal. I really didn't care at that point because it was literally good vibes only. If you are a huge fan of Roo Elliott's music, if you haven't pressed the thumbs up button for this video, at least press the thumbs up video for this video to support him, because we need everybody to know about Roo Elliott. Definitely stream his music on music platforms, and let me know in the comment section what your favorite Roo Elliott song is, because there are several. I don't want to really say all of the lyrics because for some reason, YouTube has really been very strict about copyright and ad revenue sharing, which I am trying to avoid because, quite frankly, Plant Foldies, I work too hard for these videos not to make a little bit of passive income. So again, thank you for the viewership. Thank you for the support. And I'm just going to show you some more clips of Roo. here's the thing about going to PlantCon. So not only do you run into a lot of amazing vendors, but the performances that you have, the workshops that you get, the amazing plant speakers, and just the people that you will meet. It is a once in a lifetime opportunity, I would say. So if you are somebody that is contemplating on whether you should travel to PlantCon, I would say 150%, 1000% say that it is worth it. You would just need to make sure you obviously take some time off from work, plan a couple of days after PlantCon and before PlantCon to really just settle in, because the adrenaline, all of the emotions, the excitement has to settle in. It is just an awesome experience. And then I am back at Art Garden Flowers again, and I did want to keep promoting my friend Riki of Art Garden Flowers. So these are some of the plants that you could see. Now, I don't know the plant ID for this one. It looks like a Syngonium aurea, but honestly, it is not. It is some type of, maybe I think Tomathophyllum. I'm not 100% sure. Now, these ones are retailing for $200. And I will say with the imported plants, or if you are ever going to buy from an international seller at a plant show, just know that you won't really find any of their plants in soil, because it is illegal to have plants that are imported from overseas in soil. There are regulations with the Department of Agriculture. So oftentimes plants are either sold as bare root or in sphagnum moss, just to make sure that there are no pathogens or any plant pests that could be lurking in the foreign soil. But as you can see right here, these are super healthy plants. And for those that are not only fans of the trending Anthurium, yes, I already know everybody loves their Anthuriums. How about adding a variegated Anthurium? And you can find these at Riki's booth, Art Garden Flowers. He also has t-shirts and different types of artwork that he sells. If you are interested in purchasing from him, he does have a US broker, so you will be able to buy plants from him, and that will ship air cargo. So definitely connect with him on Instagram. They also have a website. And as far as Riki, I have known him for more than a year now, and I have received plants from him. I typically buy plants from him at PlantCon or even at the Texas Aroid show, and he has just been so kind to be able to source out some of these Aglaonemas. Now, clearly he doesn't have a lot of Aglaonemas on sale for PlantCon 2025, and that just goes to show again, after speaking to a lot of the plant vendors, is that Aglaonemas, they are fans of them. A lot of them love Aglaonemas, but it's not a plant that people are actively looking for or buying. So, I could understand from a vendor's point of view that they won't really put out as many Aglaonemas, because if it's not going to sell, then why put that investment on that particular plant when you can sell a variegated Anthurium like this? That's a lot of the things I've learned from PlantCon or just going to plant shows, the market trends, the trending plants, the plants that everybody is after. And I'm going to do a separate video about my thoughts of PlantCon 2025, just my final recap. But you can see that this is still day one, part 2, and I will be having a part 3 because I spent a couple of hours really just filming as many of the plants as possible. And a lot of content these days, it's very short format content. You have your Instagram reels, you'll have your TikToks, but I am pretty classic in sense that, when I first got on YouTube 20 years ago, when YouTube first started, I really loved the longer format content. So if that is your jam and you like long format content, then this is the YouTube channel for you, because again, I do daily 1-hour plant shopping videos. I literally love to talk to everybody. And yes, going to PlantCon, it really just reeled me back in on my purpose. And my purpose is to really bring people joy, to ramble and talk about plants, to be my most authentic self. I know that I've been given feedback that I may talk too much, I'm repetitive, I need to stop saying Hydra Helix. But you know what? I am doing this for myself, and I'm really gonna do this for all of my loyal plant foldies that appreciate me, that are all about good vibes only, for me to be my most authentic self. So I'm gonna get off my soapbox on that, but I just wanted to put it out there, especially for those that are very new to the channel, that a lot of my commentary is going to be very unscripted, and I'm just going to get a little bit overzealous about just talking about plants. So if you like that kind of content, stick around, and if it's not your cup of tea, I totally understand that as well. But let's go back to the plants right over here, and you can see I picked up some Hoyas Pink Diamond, and you can see that the next vendor is Purple Elephant Plant Company. So make sure you guys are following them on Instagram. You can actually pause this video and scan that QR code, or just do a search on Instagram. A lot of these plant vendors have Instagram accounts. That way you can see what plants that they have available. And I'm going to go ahead and pick up some of these plants right here. I do believe the QR codes are codes that will give the plant care tips. Not 100% sure, but you can see that these are more of the bougie plants. You can see these are the variegated plants. Philodendron Florida Beauty crossed with Tortum. This is a wish list plant of mine, and you can see that it is starting to mature in the leaves, where eventually the leaves become more like a Tortum, but variegated. And then you can see right over here, variegated Philodendron Black Cardinal. Love that philodendron. That is a wish list plant. And a variegated Philodendron Belitier. And I just remember when this was like the holy grail of variegated plants. It's really nice to be able to see it at more cost-effective plant pricing. And you'll see right over here, we've got a gorgeous Philodendron Micans variegated, and some more variegated plants. I will ask a lot of the people that are watching, especially the ones that, you know, recently discovered my video, what is it about variegated plants that attracts you versus just those easy care, common basic plants? Please leave that in the comments below. I really love engagement. I always encourage people to put as many comments in the comment section, but at the same time, just be mindful. Think before you click, think before you press the send button, and just really practice kindness and social media etiquette. But as you can see right here, I am looking at some more of these other plants. This one I believe is by Hedge Fund Plants, and you can see this is a variegated ZZ plant. Now anything variegated ZZ plant, it's going to be a very slow grower. I do love that. You know, ZZ plants are probably the easiest plant to take care of. And you can see we've got a Philodendron Red Moon right here. I've seen that quite a bit, but you know, Philodendron Red Moon, there are many levels of variegation for this. Some are a little bit more greener than others. And then you can see variegated Philodendron Belitier. This one's got some beautiful marbling as well. And I really just love that orange petiole stem on the Belitier. And then you can see we've got another Philodendron Pink Princess. Love that as well. And again, Philodendron Pink Princess has many levels of variegation. So we'll see what that looks like, to say the least. And then one philodendron I want is on my wish list is a Philodendron Orange Princess. And the reason being, I have been really getting into orange plants. I love the color orange. I think it's a little bit more rare in the plant world, and that's just another plant that I would eventually like to get. But whenever you're going to plant shows like PlantCon, you could literally spend your entire apartment rent or mortgage within an hour or two. There's just so many beautiful plants. Now over here is Groovy Growing. I believe this is another Florida-based vendor, and you can see they've got some beautiful alocasia. This is a variegated alocasia, again, only for $45. And variegated alocasias, we know that they're trending. We know that everybody that I talked to at PlantCon was all about the variegated alocasia, but I'm gonna slip this in because I want to influence you guys at looking at Aglaonema. So you can see day one, part one was all about the Aglaonemas. I'm not gonna apologize about it because, like I've talked to all of the plant vendors at PlantCon, they're fans of Aglaonemas. Everybody is baffled as to why Aglaonemas are not popular. I think they're prettier than even an alocasia. Like this one right here, because they just come in so many colors. And when you think about it, these rare and uncommon Aglaonemas that are super colorful that you can only really find from Indonesia, Thailand, and the Philippines, are just easy care. So why would you subject yourself to something that, yes, it has variegation, but at the same time, you're going to spend more time trying to keep the plant alive than finding an Aglaonema that has very minimal care requirements. So I know that I keep slipping that in. I just feel like if I'm going to utilize this platform, I might as well pretend that I am a plant influencer. You know, there were a lot of amazing plant ambassadors, plant influencers. Shout out to Junie and shout out to Paige. Bloom Effect, they were so down to earth. I love meeting them, and I'm hoping that they will be part of the Cultivation Corner Plant podcast show in an episode at some point. Super excited because we will be talking about plant influencers on episode 2 for season 2. Definitely go to the Cultivation Corner YouTube channel, do a search, subscribe, and definitely check it out. But as far as groovy growing, lots of variegated plants, lots of variegated alocasia. So I'm just going to keep picking up some plants and showing you what they have available. You can see that just many different varieties of different philodendrons, and you can see that Groovy Growing just has a really nice selection. Now they've got smaller format plants. You can find them at groovygrowing.com. So if you're interested in purchasing plants and wasn't able to make it to PlantCon, you can definitely do that. And then let's go ahead and keep looking at some more plants right over here. You can see that this is an Anthurium. Now correct me if I'm wrong. I think this is an Anthurium luxurians. If not, it might be some type of cross. Beautiful plant as well, and I'm just going to spend a little bit more time at this vendor right here. You can see there are many different types of Anthuriums, and that is really the it plant that I saw at PlantCon. A lot of people were really going crazy about Anthuriums. Now, needless to say, I would say Anthuriums are gorgeous, but they really do need a little bit more requirements in terms of keeping them happy. Most of them will need more chunky aroid mix. I grow my Anthuriums in semi-hydroponic substrate. If I had to choose, I would put them in Lechuza Pond, but I've been able to grow one, my Anthurium magnificum in Leca, and it's doing fine. I've had it for several years. But you can see beautiful Anthuriums. And I did want to ask the plant foldies that do grow Anthuriums, number one, what is it about Anthuriums that you love, and what are your favorite Anthuriums? Please leave that in the comment section below, because again, I love that engagement, and I love just interacting and talking about plants outside of the live premiere chat, so we can continue the dialogue if you guys want, as long as we keep commenting in the comment section below. But I'm gonna go ahead and just keep picking up some of these Anthuriums. This is a reason why you must go to PlantCon. They have one scheduled already for Houston, Dallas, and I believe New York. So get excited, buy your tickets on plantcon.org to see what that all looks like, and let's keep looking at some beautiful plants today. And this plant right over here looks like a Homalomena camouflage, beautiful velvety texture plant that is amazing as well. Now, if you're looking for an Aglaonema pictum tricolor, they're very similar. The one on the left is actually an Aglaonema pictum tricolor, but this Homalomena camouflage is very similar in its look. It is got some velvety textured leaves, and then we're gonna look at this. So let's take a look at this. This one is for $45. This is an Aglaonema pictum tricolor. So the thing about Aglaonema pictums are they tend to get woody trunks and get leggy. That's really the natural way they grow. So if they become leggy, it is natural. It's not one of those types of Aglaonema that are gonna hold on to its leaves. It's gonna want to keep growing up taller and taller. So if it starts to look like that, that is really its natural habitat and way of growing. And you can see right here, Dieffenbachia. This is a Dieffenbachia, I believe a Dieffenbachia sublime. You can see right here that it is another beautiful plant. The Dieffenbachia is one of the plants so that you will really need a lot of bright indirect light and higher humidity levels to keep this plant happy. I haven't been very successful to be able to grow it, but you can see right over here, we've got even some more plants. These are more mature versions of Anthuriums, and you can't go wrong with some of these beautiful Anthuriums. Take a look at this, for instance, right over here, and you can see that I have a lot of these Anthurium crosses and seedlings right here. So if you're looking to be more cost effective in growing Anthuriums, you can always buy a seedling. It is going to take a little bit of time for them to mature into these large leaves, but if you're able to take care of them and give them the right conditions, they're going to thrive well and become very much so statement pieces of plants. I mean, look at this. That leaf alone is a statement. It is a huge statement, and you can see this one is retailing for $145. I would also say whenever you go to a plant con or plant convention, you want to compare and contrast plant pricing between vendors. Sometimes you can find some really good deals. Sometimes some plants might be a little bit expensive, but those are tips that you really want to take a look at. Me going to several plant cons already, I kind of know what some of the pricing should be for plants, what is a little bit overpriced, what is underpriced, and what is a good deal. I mean, obviously with all the vendors, they are privy to whatever price they feel like their plant is worth. So I would just say compare and contrast pricing, but also know that you can't put it all on the vendors for the pricing, because they also have to make a living. And speaking of living, prop and grow. This is probably one of my top 3 plant vendors at PlantCon. They just have an amazing plant. I love their vibe. I love the family's way of just getting so many plants sourced out every plant con, and I just love talking to Eddie and his wife. They are just really kind people, and if you haven't already, we just want to make sure that you guys go to Prop and Grow. That is the best time to go and see their booths. They do a lot of pop-ups, and they are based out in Florida, and you can see they've got many different types of plants, ranging from rare plants to easy care plants to cost-effective plants to basic easy care plants again, and alocasias. They have so many varieties, and when I spoke to Eddie, they really wanted to concentrate on selling a bunch of calathea, so we'll take a look at that in just a bit. Every plant con that I've gone to, and I'm filming their booth, but this is actually later part in the day, and they've already sold through so many of their plants. They are a very popular plant vendor for the reason being that, number one, they have very cost-effective plant pricing, very fair pricing, and number two, they have great service. They're very knowledgeable people, very approachable people. And number three, their selection of plants. So if you are somebody that is a diehard rare plant collector, they've got it. If you are looking to start plants and you want to start an easy care plant, they've got it. They've got so many selections. And so, for me, if you're not following Prop and Grow on Instagram, definitely follow them. Please tell them that Richie at Grow Folds sent you there, because we want to make sure that we grow their following. Not that they need me to actually promote them, because their plants alone and their nursery, they've done such an amazing job with their brand as well. But as you can see right here, they've got some more rare and uncommon Hoyas that they've sourced out. And for me, it is all about the selection, right? One thing I've also learned about going to PlantCon is everybody has different plant tastes, so you can't really fault somebody for being really excited about a specific plant species or wanting to get a specific plant. And for me, I was one of those people that literally everybody was looking at me crazy when I would screech and just get excited about seeing an Aglaonema. I really did feel that Aglaonema were just very underrated plants as compared to all the other Aroids. I would say Aglaonema are probably the most underrated Aroid that is known to man at this point, but we might change that if more people got to see it. I know that Prop and Grow had a few Aglaonema, but they've sold through. And then now you can see this one right here is a Calathea ornata, and they had some different types of sizing. They had a huge table full of Calatheas. You can see this one right here is a Calathea makoyana. Beautiful plant as well. Easy to care for, not so much, but for $20 in a 6-inch planter, that is a really good deal. It's a very healthy looking plant. And while we can find some of these Calatheas again at a big box store, I always encourage people to support small businesses. One thing that I really wanted to take back, or what I'm taking back from PlantCon in Orlando, is really learning all the stories of all of these plant vendors. All of these nurseries are family owned. They've existed for many generations. This is how people make a living. This is how they share their passion for plants. And I always encourage everybody to shop small if you're able to, and to support plant businesses. You might pay a little bit more for some of the plant pricing, but you are also helping continue one's dream. And I think that everybody in life has dreams. And for me, the biggest joy you can get is obviously showing kindness, but also supporting each other. And again, with Prop and Grow, they've got a selection of plants, and I'm just going to keep showing you the beautiful Calathea that they have. They were very intentional in actually bringing Calatheas, because they felt like not many people were going to bring Calatheas, and by the end of the show, they pretty much sold out of Calathea. So I always get excited when Prop and Grow sells out, because they always do, and it's because they're very intentional in the way they source their plants and what plants they bring. Like this one right here, Calathea Yellow Fusion. If I were to add a Calathea to my collection, even though I vowed that I would never add a Calathea to my collection, at least this year, this would be the one Calathea I would add, because it is a unique looking one. I love the yellowish, greenish tone about it. As far as Calathea plant care tips, again, higher humidity levels. They are a little bit more susceptible to spider mites. Water them with more purified or distilled water, because if you use tap water, it may actually crisp and brown their edges of their leaves. They prefer to be in more bright indirect light, and they like to be grouped with other plants. That's how you can keep them happy, and you just need to make sure you stay consistent with the watering. But let me just keep picking up Prop and Grow's plants. Let me know in the comment section what you think, and if you made it this far into the video, please reward my efforts to give you guys this plant convention content by pressing the thumbs up or like button for this video. It definitely helps push this content out to more plant lovers like yourself. You can see Prop and Grow has a bunch of different types of succulents and cactus as well. So the diversity and selection of plants is always going to be on point with Prop and Grow. They've also got a lot of these different types of Hoyas. So if you are a Hoya head, and I did meet a lot of Hoya heads at PlantCon, there is a huge following for Hoyas. And Hoyas for me, they are actually a super easy plant to take care of. They're very much drought tolerant, and for me, somebody that is super busy with work, I was actually surprised that I was able to get this much time off of work, but I would not miss PlantCon for the world, because this is one of the shows that really just brings a lot of people together, a lot of plant lovers, and I got to even meet more plant lovers and made a lot of different connections with people. Really was excited to have have just met so many Florida growers. So I am excited to come back to Florida, and I'm also regretting that I did not buy this Philodendron Silver Sword. Look at this Philodendron Silver Sword with so many different silver sword plants in one 6-inch planter. Very lush and super full plant as well. And you know, again, with this particular philodendron that used to be very much uncommon about 5 years ago, I'm just glad it is a little bit more readily available. Beautiful metallic foliage. This is going to want to climb, and this is being offered by you know, Prop and Grow. And then you can see right over here, this is another beautiful Aglaonema, only for $36. This is an Aglaonema Milky Way, and you can see, look at the speckling of the leaves. Look at how lush and full this one is, and I just love the white stems. You know, please leave a comment using the hashtag popularize Aglaonema if you find this Aglaonema beautiful. There are 3 plants in the 6-inch planter, so you know, roughly these are about what, $11 or $12 a piece if you were to separate the plant and actually share it with friends. I love Aglaonema in a sense that they shoot out little baby pups, and for this one, this is low light tolerant, drought tolerant. This is my favorite plant to grow because it's easy. And you know what, I just want to just put it out there that I am just glad that I am one of the few people that really celebrate Aglaonema, especially for those that go to plant shows where they're like, I need a you know, a philodendron caramel marble, or a, you know, Monstera green snow, or a variegated boletier. I'm running over there and I'm like, oh, that's a beautiful Aglaonema Lady Valentine. I get that same adrenaline and excitement seeing Aglaonemas, the same way somebody would, for instance, to see you know, a variegated philodendron like this Philodendron Ring of Fire. But let me just continue to pick up some plants and show you what Prop and Grow has to offer. Again, please follow Prop and Grow if you haven't already on Instagram. Show them some love, because they are a nursery that I will always look for at plant shows, because again, they have so many varieties. I mean, look at this. This is a cute little philodendron snowdrift, and wow, philodendron snowdrift, I always say, is like the poor person's alternative to a philodendron asmanii. Still an easy to care for plant. And take a look at this variegated Monstera Peru, beautiful plant as well. Now I would say the variegation isn't as stable, so if the leaves start to turn green, you want to cut it back to the last node where there's actual variegation and reprop it. It is a beautiful plant in a sense that it does have some gorgeous texture, and the variegation adds a new element around it. And let's keep looking at some more plants right over here. loves a nice Hoya compacta or Hoya hinduro. Beautiful plant as well. And then let's take a look at these caladiums. So I love caladiums, but unfortunately, caladiums are very challenging to grow indoors. You can see that this one is a specific cultivar. Beautiful plant. They kind of remind me of syngoniums. Here's the thing about caladiums: if you are going to try to grow them indoors, grow them under a grow light. Make sure that the temperature around that caladium is fairly high, and give them bright and direct light. Make sure that you water them pretty consistent. I would say wait till the soil is completely dry and water them. The good thing about caladiums is that they are considered perennial plants. Let's see what this all looks like right over here for the caladiums, and we'll see if anybody actually tries to grow them. They're another plant that I feel like is overlooked and oftentimes looked at as an outdoor patio plant, but you know, there's some people that really have some unique niches when it comes to plants. I mean, if it's not an Aglaonema, I also love caladiums because I love pink plants, red plants as well, and these are super cute and are offered by Prop and Grow. Here are some Syngonium albos. These ones are for $25. And you know, Syngonium albos, very fast growing variegated plant. That's one that you can literally buy and make into a mother plant after growing it for like 3 months. You'll be able to get a lot of nodes to cut. And then you can see this one right here is another variegated Alocasia aurea. This one actually gets a really large size leaf, and it's not what you call a jewel orchid. This one you can actually put in the ground as well. Like if you were to grow this in North Dallas, which is where I'm based at, you could actually put this in your landscape and it would die back obviously in the winter, but it would actually be one of those plants that can grow back year after year. Really love Alocasias. They're just very challenging to grow indoors. Now, if you grow them in a container outdoors in a shaded area, they do very well. And this one is only for $35. That is an amazing price for that plant. And that's the thing I love about Prop and Grow, is not only do they have like so many plants to pick from, but they have very competitive, cost-effective plant pricing. I always tell people, whoever go to plant cons or places that have Prop and Grow, is to definitely visit their booth, definitely give them that support, definitely give them the sales. They are a family owned business. And this is another family that I have just had positive interactions with for a long time, and it's always a pleasure to see Eddie and the family and just to see the plants that they have. They gifted me an Aglaonema when I was actually at the Texas Aroids show that is still doing extremely well for me, and I'm very grateful for that. And that's the thing about getting to meet people whenever you go to plant conventions. I always say don't be shy to say hello to people. Don't be shy in terms of opening a conversation about plants. This is the venue to do it. This is the venue to get to know the vendors as well, because then you'll get insights about what plants that they like and like what plants are in season or in trend. I just love learning a lot about just the plant community, plant trends, plant pricing, plant care, everything you want to know about plants. It is all about going to PlantCon. And so I'm just going to keep walking around here and showing you all of the gorgeous plants that Prop and Grow has to offer. Prop and Grow just has a couple more boxes that they can restock because clearly they've sold through a lot of their plants. Look at that massive Alocasia Jacqueline. Oh my gosh, that is amazing. Now, for those that are able to grow an Alocasia Jacqueline, have you ever seen it that size? That is just a monster right there. And then you can just see that they've got some more Anthurium. So for those that are all about the trending Anthurium, Prop and Grow has it. And let's take a look. I don't know if that one has pricing, but you know, I can understand why people love Anthuriums. I think it's the potential of like hybridizing them and being able to multiply them and seeing what types of traits they have. And then I did want to just go back to Toltec Plants. So I have a huge admiration for Toltec Plants because number one, getting to know Pearl and her family and also Jim, they are all based, they used to be based in Flower Mound, Texas. They are now in Florida. They've relocated there where they have their own nursery, but you can see that they have some amazing plants from Thailand and they have a nursery out in Thailand. That's where their farm is. They get all of these plants imported there. They also grow these plants in Aglaonema at their Florida-based nursery, and you can see that it is all about these unicorn plants, these variegated plants, these overseas plants. Now, while Toltec Plants is a U.S. based nursery, I would say they offer a lot of the plants that most of the international plant vendors offer, and you'll see that in part 3 as well for the day 1 of PlantCon 2025 in Orlando. Take a look at this massive Monstera mint, for instance. Like I said again, Toltec Plants, they have an Instagram account. They do wholesaling, but I do believe you're able to still buy from them directly. Just send them a direct message on Instagram and also check out their website, toltecplants.com. Pearl is super kind, and I was able to get a lot of Aglaonema from her. She is currently trying to source out an Aglaonema crown of Siam. And pause this video, do a search online, and check out a picture of the Aglaonema crown of Siam, and you will understand what a unicorn Aglaonema looks like and the pricing alone. And speaking of Aglaonema, you can see this one is a gorgeous Aglaonema black maroon, beautiful plant. And again, with Aglaonemas, I'm going to keep showing you guys this in all my videos. Easy to care for plants, ones that have so many different varieties. I mean, just look at the color of these plants and the fact that they are low light tolerant. And I can tell you, most of you watching my video today will understand that low light tolerant plants is what we need, because most of our homes, unless you are putting a bunch of grow lights, don't necessarily have all of that bright light for all the plants, but you can still house a gorgeous Aglaonema pink sunset, for instance, or I think it's pink Panama. So yeah, this is pink Panama for only $35. You can put this in a darker area in your home and it will still tolerate that. Would it grow at a faster rate? No. Will it have the best coloration? Most likely not, but it's still going to do well in a low light setting. Now, this one is a new variety that I haven't seen. This one is an Aglaonema pink banana, and there are a lot of plants that I regret not purchasing at PlantCon. That would be one of them, and I might do a video where I'm literally just sitting down next to some of my plants and talking about some of the plants I regret not purchasing, which is basically a bunch of Aglaonema. But and you can see right over here, we do have a gorgeous variegated adenium, or what you call a desert rose. And again, with desert rose, they are a succulent plant, so they need to have fast draining soil. They need to be in a lot of sun. And then you can see right here, this is a variegated Monstera Adansonii. This one I believe might be the Japanese form. Let's take a look at that. They are in sphagnum, and this one I can't see the price when I lifted this up, but it is a beautiful plant. That is another plant, you know, it's in terms of Monstera Adansonii. For some reason, I haven't been able to grow them long term, but Toltec Plants has them available. And then you can see we've got a bunch of philodendron strawberry shakes right over here, and this one is only for $50. Toltec Plants just has a variety of different types of, variegated plants. And when you talk about plants that are rare, it is all about that variegation. I mean, look at these massive Anthuriums. Look at these beautiful variegated Anthurium. Now, I would definitely be a sucker to buy one of these. Look at how gorgeous it is. And I mean, they're really established and stable as well. That would be interesting to see if somebody would actually cross breed a variegated Anthurium, for instance, with a non-variegated Anthurium to see if you can get that variegation. But that is one of those showstopper plants as well. And, I've seen Toltec actually bring in even more plants, and I am really excited to see them at PlantCon. Hopefully they make it to Houston and Dallas as well. You can see that this is their business card. So if you need to get in touch with them, definitely check out Toltec Plants on Instagram. I love me some Pearl. She is amazing. And if I ever get to visit Thailand, I would love to go visit their family nursery out there where they source out a lot of their plants. And you can see right here, we even have some platyceriums or staghorn fern. And then this is a wish list plant, a unicorn plant. This is a variegated Salome right here. And can you imagine this plant getting leaves that are this variegated that could be as big as 6 to 7 feet long? I mean, that would just be amazing. And this one is retailing at $750. So obviously it's a little bit pricey, but if you are a collector, if you love variegation, if you want that bougie plant, Toltec Plants has it. And again, they didn't bring nearly as many plants as I've seen them in the past, but you know what? All of the plants that they brought are quality plants. And, I'm just really happy to be able to see them. PlantCon is all about bringing joy to each other. And it's also just being able to interact with people that, you would consider as your plant friend, but these are long distant plant friends. And if you are tuning into the Cultivation Corner plant podcast with myself, Janae Simone, and Stephen of I Lift Plants, please follow their YouTube channels. We are 3 plant content creators based out in Dallas, and we decided to band forces and create a plant podcast, a 3-person hosted plant podcast. And when it comes down to it, we also love the same plants. And Aglaonemas, I'm just going to go ahead and say that again. And I'm pretty sure I'm being slightly obnoxious about that, but I am doing a social media experiment where if you are able to talk about a plant multiple times, if you post about it, and when the algorithm picks up on it, it might actually get more people curious about a plant. Now, there is nothing curious about this plant. This plant alone doesn't need any hype. This is a variegated laniata right here, and look at how massive it is. Such a stunner, and that is a reason why Toltec Plants, while it is not, quote, an international vendor, it is a vendor that has international quality plants. Look at this. Nobody else is really selling a Monstera green snow. This one is for $1,950, and you can see why, because Monstera Thai constellation mutations are the it plant again. So you'll see that this is a mutated version of a Monstera Thai constellation, because you can see that the variegation is like almost like a minty, ghostly look. I don't even know how to describe it. I do have a tissue cultured vial of one of them that I just haven't fully acclimated yet. I'm a little bit nervous, but can you imagine if I'm able to acclimate that Monstera green snow and get it to look like that? I'll have like a $2,000 plant. For me, I'm not all about, collecting plants for the monetary value. It is all about how the plant makes me feel, what the plant brings to my interior design and space. And, everybody has their own reasons for collecting plants, but I would just hope that we are respectful in a sense that if somebody is all about pothos plants, for instance, be about pothos, be proud about it. But in terms of somebody who wants this variegated Monstera, for instance, if you're willing to pay the price for that, go ahead and do so, because you know what? Some people might have the means for it. And even if you don't have the means, there's always a credit card. Just go ahead and support Toltec Plants and just support PlantCon in general. Every single vendor deserves a spotlight, and hopefully as you guys tune into the rest of my PlantCon 2025 Orlando, Florida coverage throughout the week, that everybody does send some positive comments in the comment section for all of the plant vendors there. I hope to get a hold of something like this in my collection someday. So this is the one time where I will actively look for a variegated Anthurium, because look at this. As it grows bigger, it is just insane how gorgeous this is. Leave in a comment section below what you think about this Anthurium. Would you buy it from Toltec Plants? Would you collect it? What is it about this plant that would actually draw you to it? I already know what you're going to say. It's the variegation, and PlantCon 2025 is how variegated can you get the plant to be without it being fully white or fully yellow. That's really the quality of plants you will find at PlantCon. And shout out to the PlantCon family, the PlantCon staff, all of the volunteers, Kenny, who actually made his dream of staging a plant convention come to life. And I'm really excited to see the future of PlantCon. It looks like every year it is just getting bigger and better, and just more vendors are really congregating and being part of the show. It literally is one of the biggest plant shows in the United States. I would even say it's probably one of the biggest plant shows in the world, maybe even the universe. If you are Filipino, you can see what that reference is. I love me some Miss Universe. We love our beauty pageants. And if you'd see me catwalking throughout PlantCon, that's just me trying to feel like I'm a beauty queen, and that is okay. It is all about being your most authentic self, and plant foldies, being your authentic self, is always something that I will encourage everybody to do so. And I would also encourage you to buy that Philodendron Orange Princess, or maybe this Philodendron White Knight Galaxy. It's kind of like the whole Galaxy, Pink Princess Galaxy. It's that speckling variegation that's interesting, and this one is a really nice specimen that I would eventually like to add to my collection. I will definitely buy that from Pearl at Toltec Plants when I have the funds for it. So again, plant foldies, if you want to support me with a monetary tip, there is a super sticker on the very far right hand corner of your phone that has a $sign. You can drop a monetary tip. Definitely would help with my travel expenses to fly out to Florida. But obviously you don't have to feel obligated to do so. For those that did leave some monetary tips last night and on my live premiere for part 1, day 1 of PlantCon, really appreciate it. You cannot imagine how much it helps me with my travel costs, and to be able to get you this type of content, for me to be able to highlight the vendors and show you plants that you may not necessarily see. But as I end part 2 of day 1 PlantCon 2025 in Orlando, I hope you tune into part 3 this week. That is where you will see the elusive Monstera Devil Monster. So if you like this video today, please make sure you press the thumbs up or like button, as well as subscribe to my YouTube channel at GrowFolds. More PlantCon coverage throughout the week. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.